Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Well, hi, dear ones. Welcome back to the House of Joy. Listen, the House of Joy, the actual House of Joy, is in a bit of disarray. And I'm going to tell you all about it. I am in the middle of doing a bunch of home projects and getting ready for Thanksgiving and decorating a little bit for Christmas already. And I want to talk about it. This whole thing that we're going through was started because Tom decided that for his 13th birthday, he wanted to move to the bigger room upstairs. And it sent me into all kinds of drama. But it also kind of coincided, now that we're making all the changes, with something that my coach has been talking to me about, which is upleveling the energetics of your business, which made me think of your business and your life. So I just want to share all of those musings with you today, because maybe going into 2026, you know that you want to give your life just an uplevel, an energetic uplevel. And you totally can do that. It's totally up to you. Part of me doing that, I don't, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that I have my 2026 calendar out. I'm already starting to plan my year. So I have so many fun things that I want to talk about. So welcome back to the House of Joy. So glad you're here. Now, again, this all started because Tommy just had his 13th birthday, and he's been asking for a long time to switch rooms, to move to the bigger room that is upstairs, which is kind of at the back of the house. And I resisted that because I remember when my girls moved to the back, what we call it the back room, when they moved back there, it felt like they were just like a little farther away. And I don't know. It was just like acknowledging that they're growing up. And I just was resisting it for a long time, probably for a year. He's been asking for a long time. And I don't know. I finally was like, well, first of all, I use that, as we do as parents, as leverage for him to get a bunch of projects done that he needed to do. Just, working on certain things in school and around the house and all of that. So he did his part. And then I was like, okay, let's make this happen. Now, should I have tried to make this all happen in the span of time between Emmy's wedding and my live event that I did with my coaches and my coaches summit that I did last week? I probably shouldn't have, but I did. So right now we're in the messy middle. So we have him moved to the back. And the wallpaper, oh my gosh, you guys, you should see the vision board that I have for his room. It's so cool. But the plaid wallpaper that I ordered for him is not going to be here till December 5th. The room that he was in is now going to become a very feminine, lovely guest room / writing room where I will be doing my writing on my next book. And I told him, I said, I don't know why you want to move out of this room. It's like got the best view in the house, has a beautiful view of the lake. So I'm going to put a desk right there. And anyways, that room is also going to be fabulous. But I was thinking about, because we have twin baby girls coming in February, and I have a little small crib that I probably shouldn't have based the whole color scheme on the color of that small crib, but I made it work. So I'm doing a wallpaper painting project in there. The new bed is already here for that room. So follow me on Instagram. You'll get to see little snippets of it as I create it. I actually will show you some snippets of it. This episode is coming out on Tuesday, the 18th. I'll show you snippets of it today. So come over on Instagram at Edie Wadsworth, and I'll show you some snippets of what it's going to look like and the progress that we're making. But I'm so excited. And it feels like, how if you give a mouse a cookie. So as soon as I started doing these projects, I wanted to clean everything out. I just went through my closet right before the wedding and did a big clean out. But there was an area of my room that had a bunch of stuff that I couldn't decide if I was going to donate or not. Actually, over in that corner, I actually found a box of stuff that I had ordered from Athleta and Old Navy that I was like, oh, this is cute. So I actually found a few new things over there. I'm getting all of the corners cleaned out. And you mamas know what I mean. You have corners of things, places where you're holding on to stuff or, where you need to clean it out. And Tom's room has kind of been the same for a few years and definitely needed a clean out. So it feels like we're in the messy middle, but we're also like really touching literally everything in this house. And it was a big project to take on before the holidays, but I'm so glad I did it. I feel the relief of it already, and it's not even close to halfway done. But we're working on it all this week, and I'm hoping that by this weekend, we will be far enough along on it so I can start working on my Thanksgiving plan. I mean, I have my menu, I kind of have my plan, but actually start cooking and stuff this weekend for Thanksgiving. So I wanted to talk about this because a lot of you are, whether or not you're in the same place, I think when it's time for the holidays to come, you're confronted, especially if you're hosting, you're kind of confronted with your house. And I'm like one of these people that, is all or none. So I was all wedding for the last few months. It's just been all wedding all the time. And then we had a big season in my business during that time. And so it's been all of that. And my house, I've just been neglecting. It was summertime. We were out on the boat a lot. And so I'm really, really thankful to be pouring this time into the house. And I spent literally all weekend doing projects related to this. And it has helped me see that we're going to talk about it today, but like the energetics, the intention and the energy that you direct and focus towards something really changes everything. So I'm going to teach you how to give your life and your business an energetic up level, not by trying harder, but by changing the energy of the spaces that you're living in, working in, creating in. And I think a lot of times this is what's keeping us stuck. It's just the energy of the spaces we're in. And by that, I mean your internal space, like what you're creating for yourself energetically, what you're creating in your home, the energy of the rooms you spend the most time in, the way your environment either expands your life or you feel like it's compressing you, the way certain spaces make your nervous system feel open and alive, and maybe others make you feel shut down. And I feel like I'm just always learning this. I've always been very sensitive to environment. And it was funny because when my business coach was talking about this, she said, imagine, and she was talking about it just strictly as it relates to business. So if you don't have a business, just think about it like as related to your life. But she said, imagine that the programs that you run are like a physical space. What would that physical space feel like to you? What would it look like? What kind of space would it be? And I instantly was like, oh, it would definitely be a house, and it would be kind of close to my house. And the way I described it to her was I said it would be like an anthropology Christmas house mixed with a Nashville country star house in the 70s. Have you guys seen I know I've talked about this before, but there's a series called George and Tammy, and it's about George Jones and Tammy Wynette. Excellent series, by the way. And it shows their house in Nashville in the 70s. And it's what inspired me actually to paint my downstairs honky tonk room that we used forever for the podcast. But it's like everything is saturated with color. It's joyful, just lots of color everywhere. That's what my business feels like to me. So when she was describing this, she's like, yeah, think of it as a place. What would the place look like? What would the colors be? What would it feel like when you're there? And I'm like, oh, I don't know if my clients quite feel that way, but I kind of think they do. I kind of think they feel like the spaces that I've created in my business kind of feel like that. And when I'm in my house, actually, my team and I were trying to find a place to have our team meeting where we plan the next year. And while we were on the meeting, we were looking at houses, and one of them was like the perfect size that we needed. But I instantly looked at the decor and it was all dark wood. And I'm like, no, that's not the vibe. I can't plan 2026 in a house like that. I need it to be joyful and full of light and all of that. I'm really, really sensitive to it. And it made me realize that I do think I am creating spaces like that where people can come and they feel like it has a certain personality. It has a certain joyfulness to it. It has a certain way about it. And of course, then I started thinking about that for my life. That's why I love hosting things, because I can make it colorful and quirky and joyful, and I can have the music and, the food and all of that. I really love hosting because I am influenced. I think we all are influenced by that. But anyways, this got me thinking about all of you and your life, and what does it feel like to live in your life? What does it feel like to live in your body? What does it feel like to live in your home? Are you intentionally creating spaces that help you show up to your next level? And that's what I started thinking about. That's why I got two big 2026 calendars out. And as I'm thinking about the new year, that's what I'm thinking about. How can I up level my life again and up level my business and show up as my highest, most joyful self in my own life, in my own marriage, in my own business? As I'm welcoming these new grandbabies into my life, it makes me so thankful and so happy. And again, I do think that, for this season of Tom's life, he's 13 now, really stepping into more leadership. We just started these amazing like English horseback riding lessons. And I don't know, I've just been seeing things in him this year. And I keep saying this is going to be his breakthrough year. And I think the more intention that we set about the spaces that we occupy, and our own lives being one of those spaces, it really starts to change your own self-concept. I do think that you can shift into a higher way of being in your own life. You can really expand your life. You can really start changing things that you want to change. So I said yes to him, which, has led to my whole house being in disarray. But we're hoping by the end of the week, we can get it, we can really get it into shape for the holidays. But sometimes I think that the up level that we're craving will only come after we stop resisting these shifts. Some of you've been feeling it like, oh, I need to, maybe it is your physical space. Like, oh, I really need to address that. Maybe it's your work life. Like, oh, this feels stale. I'm not enjoying this. I want to up level my work life, or I want to up level the job that I have. Some of you are avoiding getting in rooms and containers that will up level you. So if you haven't joined any of my programs, come join us. Join us for a workshop. Join us in coach training. Join us in life mentoring school. I promise you that when you get into environments where it has this up level of self-concept and energetics, it will change you. It will change who you are. Your environment is not neutral. It's either expanding you or contracting you. It's either activating you toward your next level or keeping you smaller. It's calling you higher or kind of keeping you stuck. And you have to ask yourself, what do I want to do about that? Do I believe that my next level will necessarily come from more willpower, more discipline, more time, or whatever? I don't think so. I think those things can help, but none of it overrides the identity that you occupy. The energy of the room, maybe your body, maybe your physical room, but the place that you live in. Environment is the silent architect of your identity. I really do believe that. And you can't rise above, you can't rise to your next level in a space that was built for your old self. And you don't have to, redo everything. Sometimes for me, that just means really reorganizing and cleaning out what I have right now. It doesn't necessarily always mean switching a room and repainting and all of that. I mean, you can feel an up level just by cleaning out your junk drawer real good. But also just your internal environment that you're occupying. What are your thoughts that you're thinking about all the time? What's the thing that you're focused on? Are you constantly focused on the doom or gloom type stuff that you see in social media? Are you constantly focusing on the negative news cycle? You won't create your amazing future if you keep living in a space, your headspace, that's focused on that kind of thing. You can't step into expansion when you're not willing to let go of things that are holding you back, when you are not willing to create a new energy, to really step into your next level life with a new energy, a new focus, a new intention. and you decide that's what you want on purpose. So it's whether it's for your life or your business or a relationship, how can you up level the energy of those places that you inhabit? So I'm going to give you 4 questions that I think will shift everything for you. Think of each area of your life as a room and ask yourself this. So if room number 1 was your home, if your home were a place where your true self lived, your highest self, the most you could be, the most joyful, the most loving, nurturing, peaceful you, what would that space feel like? Does it inspire you? Is it a match for who you're becoming? Are you living in the energetic leftovers of an old season of life? I noticed, you guys, that even though I had, redone all of my wardrobes for the wedding, there was a whole area kind of in the back corner of my room that literally has been cluttered over there, out of sight, out of mind for more than a year. And I cannot tell you how good it felt to clear that little corner out. What corner of your actual space? Maybe it's your kitchen, maybe it's your bedroom. What corner of your home could you make a simple shift like this and change how you feel, change the atmosphere of your home? And that's kind of what we're doing in a couple of rooms in our house. But I will tell you, I noticed a big shift just from doing it in this one corner of my bedroom. So if room number 2 were your relationships, maybe your marriage, maybe your parenting relationships, your friendships, your family life, if it were a physical room, what's the energy of that space? Does it feel warm and playful and connected and hopeful and light? Or does that relationship room for you feel resentful and disconnected and heavy? And what is one thing that you could do to shift the energy of that room? Maybe you need to have a hard conversation. Maybe you need to have a loving conversation. Maybe you need to have a moment of gratitude or forgiveness or presence. The energy of the relationship determines where that relationship is going. So how can you intentionally show up and create an energy shift in your relationship? Room number 3, if it were your business or your calling or your work. Now, this one is huge. If your business were an actual building or your work, and probably for some of you, your work is an actual building, would you want to hang out there? How does your business feel to you? Does it feel rushed, chaotic, uninspired, cluttered? Or does it feel creative and joyful and purposeful? Is there a lot of possibility there? Is it a space where you come alive or a space that drains you? Maybe your business/work/calling needs an energetic upgrade. And this is exactly, by the way, what I feel like our programs can help give you, a place to create from your highest self. Number 4, if room number 4 was your inner world, your mind and your spirit, and this is the most important room of all. If your inner life were a room, what does it feel like right now? Is it cluttered with old stories and limiting beliefs? Is it crowded with fear? Is it heavy with pressure and stress? Or is it quiet and sacred, filled with gratitude and faith and hope? Your inner room sets the tone for every outer room. It's the source and the wellspring. And yet, this is the room we ignore most. This is the room that I often ignore most. And I have to give myself weekends like the one I just gave myself, where I get quiet and I go inward and I start looking for ways that I can help shift that inner energy. And just cleaning out that one corner of my bedroom really helped. Grabbing my journal really helped. I took like 10 pages of notes when my coach was leading a session on this topic, and it felt so inspiring to me. So where in your life do you feel most at home as your true self? Name it, celebrate it, expand it. Number 2, what needs clearing, releasing, refreshing? A habit, a belief, a relationship pattern, a room, a thought you've been rehearsing for too long? Number 3, how can you treat yourself with more compassion? Are you decorating your inner world with grace or criticism? Maybe it's time to redecorate. And number 4, what desire is waking up in you right now? Desire is a direction. It points toward your next room. This is how you up-level your life's energy, by intention, by choosing on purpose what you want to create in your life. So your next level, the next level of your life, has a place. And most people don't reach it because they're afraid to rearrange the rooms they're in. And if that's you, if you've been resisting the very thing that would expand you, let this be your invitation. Clear the clutter, shift the energy, change the environment, step into your next level, maybe move the furniture. This is how your life changes. And this is why I love creating spaces, because the fastest way for me in my own life to my next level is to create a space for it. So, how can you do that in your own life? Your life wants an energetic up level in 2026, and you are one room away. So I hope this has inspired you to go create something amazing in your life. I love you so much. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We'll put some links below if you're ready to up level and get into rooms that really inspire you. We would love to welcome you into ours. And I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful week. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.